You're professional.
I am so professional. I mean, I'm not even drinking this time. I really should be. But
Yeah,
I'm
I
not.
mean, it's not going to be a good one.
I'll go get a beer. I will go and get a beer. That's a threat. I will.
That is a threat.
I will go and get some vodka and some gin and some beer and
who
put
would
them all
win?
into a glass.
In a fight, hang on, he didn't write this very well. Someone on our Facebook page. Who would win in a fight, a horse? All right, he just didn't do any punctuation. A horse-sized duck or a robot made of tech that could be found in the 1930s?
Horse. I've heard this horse-sized.
Yeah,
duck.
usually it's the other way around. Usually it's one horse-sized duck or like 100 duck-sized horses. but he's done it with a twist where it's just one single horse.
A massive duck.
Horse-sized duck.
It's quite a terrifying.
That is
thought.
a massive duck. That's like.
Am I the only one that holds the mental image of like one of those like
Orville.
rubber ducks? No, the rubber ducks that people take into a bath.
Yeah, a giant one of them.
That's what I have with like
Against a robot, but it's a robot made only from technology available in the 1930s. So that's not really very technologically advanced.
So
It'd basically be a guy wearing a bucket on his head. If they even had buckets in the 1930s. I think they just shy out a window in the 1930s.
a man with a bucket on his head.
So, well, go on. Who would win, the man with the bucket on his head or the giant duck?
I don't know. I mean, the bucket would prevent him from taking, serious head injury from the duck. But, it's a duck.
I think the duck would win in the long run because his rich Uncle Scrooge would then sue the human wearing the bucket on his head for all that he owns and become richer as a result.
It'd steal his bucket.
Yeah. Who would win in the other way? Who would win out of a duck-sized horse or
A duck-sized
100
horse or 100 men with buckets on their head.
It's very confusing if you say it too many times. Sorry, I meant a single horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses. That's the one that people usually do. So who would win out of that?
The horse-sized duck, surely.
Why?
Well,
Horses are more violent. They can kick and stamp and
but
bite.
they're just little ones. You're just talking about
100 of them?
Yeah.
I mean, would you rather get into a fight with 100 midgets or just one quite tall, muscly guy?
I reckon I could take all the midgets.
I think I could take the box.
I'm welcome to take the challenge.
I'll just open up Google. Who would win, ninjas or pirates? It offered me an alternative, ninjas or samurai, which is interesting. Okay, who does Google think would win out of ninjas and pirates?
Pirates.
The official answer is everybody.
That's not an official. That's
Someone asked on Yahoo. Yahoo's always good for really inept, retarded answers.
and questions.
So,
Really inept question.
if you took a large room and filled it with 200 pirates and 200 ninjas and they started fighting, who would win? The best answer, as chosen by two people, was the better one would win. This is one thing for sure. This has nothing to do with martial arts.
I hate the internet so much.
Oh, you know why? That's that guy being a swear word. Because the guy posed the question in the martial arts section of Yahoo Answers. It's like getting all uppity. I mean, the one time that year someone probably thought of a question to do with martial arts. And it's like, who would win out of ninjas and pirates? And he said, that's not a martial arts question.
Get out of our serious
I feel like
forum.
pressing on the horse racing Yahoo Answers and asking who would win out of that man with a bucket on his head and the horse-sized duck, just to see.
Hello and welcome to the Brain Go Hurty Gaming Podcast. This is episode 48. I'm Blighty. This is Flik.
Yep.
Also known as Mrs. Flik.
Nope.
Slight delay on this one. Blame Flik.
Big delay. There was technical difficulties involving
your brain.
Involving my brain.
With your brain.
And also forgetting and uploading big videos and everything.
Yes. Continue to make excuses.
Even this one will be slightly late. It'll be late beyond the date we knew it would be late by.
You finished?
Probably. I can moan some more.
It's your fault.
I've got a cold and toothache. I can complain really hard today.
You need alcohol. You need whiskey. That's
Why? Oh, because that cures toothache.
it numbs all the nerves and stuff. It's fun.
Yeah,
Plus,
it
you get
doesn't
drunk.
just nerve your. Yeah, it doesn't just do that to your
just nerve
nerves.
your brain.
It doesn't just numb your nerves. Is what I was going to say. It
Well,
numbs you to pretty much everything else.
I have plenty here.
For now.
So instead of talking about toothache, normally we get together and banter a bit about what we've been playing and what's been going on in the world of gaming for the last
We have never done that, ever.
4 weeks.
When have we ever done that?
Never. Doesn't happen.
No. So what have you been playing?
What have I been playing? Oof.
Stop asking yourself after I ask you.
I know it annoys you. I can't help do it now. I have been playing Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 3.
Yes, you have.
I finished it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, no, you haven't done the post-game stuff, though.
Is that important?
You earn another character to play outside of the mode. You earn a bunch of characters to use in the mode, and you get a little side story.
I haven't played outside of the mode since that first match. We started, that first bout of matches that we played on day one.
Then you've fallen behind. I haven't played Versus since
That's
that
what I
night
mean.
either, but I did do the post-game stuff also, and the extra it's like 5 minutes of gameplay.
I enjoyed it. In terms of playing a game, it's more like watching the anime with little bits in between.
Yeah, it's about a 13-hour game, but most of that is talking.
But, that was good for me because it let me catch up on the anime rather than watching it. I enjoyed it. As a beat 'em up, it's the first beat 'em up I've played, or, brawler, wherever you are. The first one I've played in...
Fighting brawler RPGer.
First one I've played since Dead or Alive. I can't remember if it's 3 or 4. Whichever one came out for the 360 when it launched. That one.
You seriously never played a beat 'em up since that one?
No?
I'm trying to think whether you're lying or not, but I can't think of any other game that would fit that bill.
Nothing. It's just not a genre that I...
You burned yourself out on, what was it, Pocket Fighter 2? On the PlayStation 1 or something?
No, it was Pocket Fighter 1. I imported that.
Ah.
60 quid that cost me.
I know, import games especially, used to cost a mint back then. They used to cost what a normal game costs now.
We kind of got ourselves desensitized to it years in advance.
As long as you ignore it after Madara shows up, everything up to that point is pretty canon.
All right, okay.
After that, it goes off on its own little trip. Then you should probably just, enjoy the ride, but then forget about it right after.
But does that not then mean that when the next one comes out, it's not going to be...
Yeah, they're going to have to retcon their own plot, but it probably won't be for years now, or a year at least.
Well, I definitely will be buying the next one based off of this.
What if the next one is another quick cash-in like the one that was before this one, between it and 2, called Generations? It had a really lazy story mode, and the only real difference was a lot more characters.
Oh, if that's the case, then fuck it, I'm not buying that.
Yeah.
I'm just buying it so
the next proper sequel, so you can catch up on the story in a year and a bit.
Pretty much. It's a good idea. It's a good way of doing it. But
it's a cheap way of doing it if you look at the cost of buying manga or anime DVDs.
And I kind of got my copy for free with trade-ins and stuff. Anyway,
it's technically not free.
It's free.
Fine.
It's free. I didn't pay any money.
Okay,
it's free.
fine.
It's free in my head.
It's free in your head, along with all that empty space.
Have you been playing Naruto in the last 2/3 weeks?
Yes, I was recording the post-game stuff.
Oh, yes, yeah.
For my playthrough, just to finish it off, because I like getting out of the way everything I can, so... there's 2 more videos to go back up. To go up,
and then you're done.
And then that's done unless we do more versus matches, of course.
Which
I think people would like to see you beat me, so I think we probably should do some more.
That might take a while. We don't know.
Well, you did struggle a lot more with the last couple of fights than I did, and I want to talk about these fights.
All right, okay.
Because I did find the game pretty easy until those last 2 Godzilla battles.
I did find it fairly easy as well, not having any real experience with the games before. I did find the game pretty standard, and I did pick all the harder options, so get that.
So did I. Once I realised that the Legend options were the harder option over Hero, I deliberately picked Legend every time.
I did all the Legend ones as well, including the last Legend option you can pick.
Yeah, so the only reason they're so annoying and difficult and frustrating is because it doesn't use clever mechanics. It uses like the open air brawl system, but puts you against tough people who won't go down quick, and they all kind of spam you, and you can't block them all, you can't evade them all, because of the way the lock-on system works. So not a lot of work went into the mode, so that's what makes it frustrating.
I found, though, that mode quite a lot of fun, though. Like, in general, I quite like
other than
Brawler.
That, than those two fights.
The only time, you only ever really did it a couple of times before that, a couple of sequences where, you know, rather than playing as a standard, you know, beat 'em up or brawler where it's one-on-one, you've got, you know, a big sort of open area where you're like 1v10 or whatever. Usually grunts and stuff, and you get like, you know, button presses.
That's how one of the PSP games was.
Oh yeah, I remember you put
Naruto
video
Impact
footage of that.
I did, of the demo. I never did buy the game because I had other stuff. Stuff happened.
I had another guy,
and, you know, get in the way.
So you wanted to complain a bit about that, or is that you?
I did, because they pissed me off. I like getting through playthroughs without dying or losing or anything, and I'd done perfectly well up to that point, and then I lost once on each of them.
I lost
got on my nerves.
Many more than once on each of them. Fighting, you know, 10 spammy guys all at once where, you know, you're trying to cut down one person and then the other attacks, even when you're mid-combo, can still, like...
They still break your
combo, and... Yeah, you get...
Jinchuriki is the word you were looking for.
Yes, the Jinchuriki fight. And then, you know, when you get back up, they're already still spamming, so you get up and get knocked back down again almost straight away, and then you get through all of that, of that spam, and then... You then have to do it all again, except for against the actual tailed beasts. That was
and then you have to do that again.
Yeah.
So it says the last battle at least 5 times. I'm pretty sure.
It does actually. Yeah,
or 4 or 5, depending on. I can't remember where the breaks were in the last bit. Yeah, at least 4.
I mean, I still kind of enjoyed them a bit. I just got a bit frustrated when, like, spam. Only with the spam stuff, really.
The other thing is, you are not allowed to free roam until you finish the game. Then you can free roam.
Silly. It's like, you can tell there's like a branching off of a path here, and it's like, oh, I don't need to go that way. And you go, well, why not?
I kind of wanted to complain, but it seems like they didn't really have a choice because the story is so on the rails for the section it covers. They didn't really have the liberty of letting you free roam because you have to constantly change who you're playing as. So
I imagine all those extra loading screens.
Yeah, the loading screens are weird.
Walk through paces loading.
Plus, if you if you had a bunch of quests in between all the proper story, people might look at it as filler. Whereas if you put it all in after the game, at least then it's just optional stuff.
Extra content.
Optional stuff sounds better than filler. That's how you should look at the filler episodes of anime. These aren't filler episodes; they're optional episodes.
Optional episodes.
DLC they marketed them as optional episodes. You don't need to watch these if you want to have any idea of what's going on in the real story, because these are all just bullshit. Then people might not be so annoyed about how badly written, drawn, animated, and everything else they are.
So, should we move on to something other than...
Yeah, I don't want to complain about that too much, because for Naruto fans, they should play it.
I can't remember if I was playing Binding of Isaac in the last podcast or not. But if I wasn't, then I am now.
Yeah, I think you are now, because I'd only just started dabbling in the live streaming, I think. And you hadn't yet, but you have now.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Binding of Isaac is like if you haven't heard of it, it's an indie game. Very cheap on Steam. I think I paid like £1.40 for the full game and the
expansion.
And
the OST, or
no, I didn't get the OST. No, but I wish I had now. But it plays like the old school sort of not scrolling shooter. I'm trying to think of the best. If you ever played Super Smash TV, it plays like that.
Oh, that's going back a bit. I was thinking more like what was it called, Protector or Alien Swarm, something like that.
Alien Swarm and stuff, yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's very weird. It's got that nice art style that comes from the Newsgrounds people from Castle Crashers fame. And I think they're doing that, was it Battle Block Theatre as well?
It isn't made by them, is it? No, Isaac isn't made by them.
It's got Newsgrounds thing.
Yeah, Newsground is a website which hosts lots of different flashes.
Well,
you're thinking of Behemoth.
That's what I was thinking.
Behemoth is the company that makes Castle Crashers and Battle Block. So it's not them, but it is a similar kind of art style, kind of cutesy gore, I guess. Is that?
Kugori?
Oh, she's bleeding. That kind of sums it up. If you like urinating children, I don't know.
Shooting blood from their eyes.
Wearing
their mum's bra.
I am at the point where I genuinely don't want to pick up the chopstick upgrade just because it freaks me out so much.
But you get
shooting chopsticks in his eyes so that they bleed.
Isaac's shooting ability to kill enemies is his tears. He kills all these things in the basement.
His aborted brothers and sisters.
Because his mum wanted to kill him because God told her to do it. Or God in inverted bunny ear things.
If God wore inverted bunny ears, I think more people would take him less serious.
I like it. I like it a lot, and it's one of those games that you can. You
should have got it ages ago when I told you about it.
You can just pick it up and play it for a bit, and it doesn't really matter, and it doesn't seem to matter how many times that you pick it up and play it. Each time you play it, it's new. It's it's random.
There's a lot more random luck than
random chance on the upgrades and pickups that you get, and it's a lot of fun.
It's always in every big sale Steam run. So if you desperately want a good deal, just wait for the next sale. But I mean, it's RRP right now. It's like £3, I think.
Oh yeah, it's
or even like $1.99. It's been out so long that it's now dirt cheap.
Even at under a £5, you should pick it up. It's definitely worth it. But the only thing it seems to be missing for me is like co-op. A co-op element would be quite fun.
That would be interesting. I wonder if anyone's ever tried modding that.
Google it. Google
no,
is
not right
answer.
now.
Google is like the new God.
A
everybody used to like ask God for the answers. Now everybody just asks Google.
Okay, hang on. Google. I still have my window open on Google, don't I? Yes, I do.
I mean, you can put in things like,
why are we here?
You can put in questions like, should I get married?
Okay, I'll do that next. But nope, didn't find anything for that. So, should I get married? No.
Where is your magic 8-ball?
I thought Google usually gave you choices. I played the demo of Fire Emblem Awakening. It's a game that's out next week in the UK, even though it came out about 4 feckin' months ago elsewhere.
Isn't this one
everywhere in the world.
Random RPG games you were looking at?
Random, what?
Well, I haven't heard of it.
No, you've never heard of a Fire Emblem series?
No.
Like, what about Ike and the other guy's name who are in the Smash Bros. Games? They're from Fire Emblem.
Nope.
They're like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh.
But they're on kind of a worldy map type scale rather than person. But when you go into combat with another unit, it gets like close and you get an animation of the fight happening. It's also known for having permadeath for your characters.
It's a Nintendo game. Ugh.
Yeah, it's on 3DS.
I don't have a 3DS.
Yeah, so judge a game on whether or not you can play it.
Who has a 3DS?
Well, you are the internet.
Raise your hands.
I'm raising my hand.
I see no hands being raised.
I have a 3DS.
I see none.
I have a 3DS.
You can say it, but I can't see it. If I don't see it, it's not real.
If I don't see it, it's not illegal. So the two things put me off getting it, despite the fact I enjoyed the demo and I knew I would, because it's not the first Fire Emblem game I've played.
Is number one the fact that it's on a 3DS?
No.
It should
Number
be.
one is the fact that Nintendo waited so long to release it here, despite the fact it's been out everywhere else in the world for months.
So it's not
it even came out like 2 weeks early in Canada. I know that because the Bad Rory told me.
The Bad Rory.
Yeah, the Bad Rory.
Yeah, just to make things clear, we have a good Rory and a bad Rory, apparently.
Yeah. The good Rory is the one that likes anime. The Bad Rory is the one who won't shut up. And is from Canada.
Both of them are pretty nice to me, so, you know.
They just want it in your pants. And the other reason I'm a bit put off is because the characters don't have feet, and my OCD finds that distracting.
They don't have feet?
Yeah. Now, I read an interview to find out why. The reason they did it at first is because they weren't sure how many articulated points the models could cope with on the 3DS.
How do they stand up?
Well, they're kind of like, they almost look like peg legs.
Are
So when they were animating the various articulate points, they'd have like the torso, the neck, the arms, all those joints. They weren't sure how much more they could cope with, but then they found the 3DS could, but by then they decided that it was a bit of an artistic style, so they decided to keep with it for that reason. So now all the director gets harassed with is, why don't they have feet? It's only for the little, like the 5-second clips of the guys hitting each other, but it's very distracting to me.
Like weird, like such a weird thing.
Well,
you think that they would have like scoped that out in advance?
Type in like Fire Emblem Awakening, press the images tab, and you'll find at least one picture of an in-game shot. Yeah, like the second result for me is an in-game shot. Marth, that was the other guy, Aiken Marth. And you can see they're all kind of peg-legged.
Let's have a look. Oh yeah,
so the reason it did stay like that is because they decided it was stylistic, and they thought it would.
No, it's because they're lazy people.
Well, you could argue that, I guess. So you can probably see from some of those screenshots how it plays. You can see like the movement style and all. So it is Final Fantasy Tactics style. Bunch of classes, bunch of advanced classes, and as I say, the optional permadeath is optional in this one, but usually it's if someone dies, they're gone.
Not having a 3DS means it's not on my radar, and I still actually have. What's that?
Tomb Raider?
No, that one on the PlayStation.
I thought you were listing all the games you still have to play that you like doing.
There's a lot. I'm not even going to bother. I still have...
Let me do it. Tomb Raider.
I still have BioShock Infinite unopened.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that in a second.
Because I'm not allowed to play it until I finish Tomb Raider.
Oh, you're under the heel.
Well, I didn't buy it, so, seems fair enough.
Yeah, plus you really should finish Tomb Raider.
I know, I meant to today, but I got a little carried away.
Yeah. So what else is on your to-do list? BioShock Infinite, Tomb Raider.
I still have Space Marine to
Space
finish.
Marine.
Technically, I still
Assassin's
need to
Creed
3. Yeah, Assassin's Creed 3. Thank you for reminding me. I still need to pick up and finish the Walking Dead Season 1 episodes.
Yeah.
I think that's actually it. It's not actually as bad.
That's quite a lot.
But it's still a lot of stuff.
That is a lot.
Maybe a third of the way through Assassin's Creed 3 at best. Tomb Raider, I've probably got about an hour or 2 hours left to go, maybe.
You might be surprised it does go on a bit.
Maybe.
Because you can't really say where you are because it may be spoiler.
Space Marine, I've probably got about half the game to go or something. Just stuff happens, things.
Yeah, stuff.
And technically there's something else that we're playing as well, which I'm sure we'll go on to in a minute.
Well, do you want to talk about that first and then I'll go on to BioShock Infinite, or the other way around?
Yeah, we'll do it that way. So we've been playing the beta for Warframe on Steam. The open beta on Steam. And it's fun. It's different.
With the asterisk that it's free, I think is very fun.
Yeah, for it being free, if I had to pay for it, too much like just a mod for something.
It looks nice.
It does look nice, yeah. It looks.
I'm impressed by how good it looks.
It looks quite similar to Mass Effect.
The same kind of sci-fi angle that Mass Effect went through. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Except for it plays at about 6,000 times faster than Mass Effect.
Yeah, there's no slowdown like Mass Effect. Well, actually, no, there is occasional slowdown, but it's usually justified because it's just so much is happening.
Screaming through the stage, flying off the walls and doing flips and sword play and shooting.
We have uploaded videos of it, but essentially you play as a space ninja cowboy samurai superhero action figure Neo. Pirate. I always forget one thing out of that list. And you're just sent after waves and waves of either aliens, infested stuff, monsters. It's just it's repetitive to a point, but it's
a hack and slash sort of type game, isn't it?
It plays like Devil May Cry.
Yeah, I would say closer to like Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, okay, without the masses of enemies. No. Although sometimes it's swarmed.
I mean, there's not an awful lot of like variety in the enemies or the maps or the weapons and stuff, but it's free.
That's if you keep on going free. I mean, if you were willing to put money in, you could buy a new frame that has a whole host of new abilities to play as.
Yeah.
You could buy a ton of different weapon types rather than having to save up or not get access to them till a later level.
I mean, you've got the MMO elements
massively
where
massive multiplayer online.
You're trying to get like drops for like blueprints and crafting materials and that sort of nonsense.
And then once you afford the blueprint, you find that you need 2 blueprints to make the thing that you need for the blueprint.
Yeah.
And
but it kills time. It's fun. I should really be playing Tomb Raider and stuff instead of killing time on Warframe. But
yeah, I'm sure. I don't think it'll last that long unless a whole host of changes happen.
We'll get bored of it unless they do.
We probably will. But that might turn into a kind of thing where we come back to it a few months down the line.
Minecraft.
Yeah, like Minecraft, and enough has been added that it feels fresh again. I compare it quite a lot to Phantasy Star Online in that respect.
It's got elements of that.
It has some kind of untangible addiction to it, even though it's technically very repetitive and semi-dull. I would say
weird. I think you can play it for a couple of hours and then you kind of start going, yeah, it's fine. I'll turn it off. So.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing. An hour or so every so often this week. I mean, I couldn't sit and play it all day, definitely.
No.
It's not that kind of game. It's like Isaac. You play it in bits.
It's kind of really hard to justify why we're playing it. It's probably easier if you go and watch the videos that are on your channel.
Yeah, we've done 2. I might do more.
Maybe.
Not decided yet. Depends if I run out of stuff to do. Oh, and on that note, we still haven't discussed whether or not we are going to be doing a co-op playthrough of Dead Island Riptide.
We haven't, have we? When's that out?
No. That's out on the 29th of this month, I believe.
So I'll have been paid by that point. I probably wouldn't have started Bioshock by that point either.
Actually, it might be the 26th.
I should still have been paid by that.
Either way, I think it's the last Friday of this month for us and the last Tuesday for America. I almost said the Americas there.
I mean, the original Dead Island playthrough was huge. I mean, it was massive.
It was many parts.
We got a lot of time out of that. I would say we got more time out of that than we did out of Borderlands 2.
I
reckon we played a lot. I
can't do an accurate comparison because we didn't record our playthrough of Borderlands 2.
But I reckon we played a lot. Like a lot of time.
And this technically is, it's technically a full sequel, so it could potentially be just as long.
I mean, the video uploads, not counting some of the, running backwards and forwards, you were talking 50 episodes?
It was 47, and the total playtime was 14 hours.
That's just recorded
That's all
playtime.
The recorded stuff. I remember we lost at least 3 videos due to some hiccup. And not to mention, we also did a bunch of side quests without recording it because, it was just side quests. So I would say it would easily go over 15, easily.
It was quite substantial. So I don't know.
If anyone has an opinion on it, they can let us know.
But isn't it just some of the old maps recycled with water in though?
Well, that's what I thought as well, but it's actually a different island on the same peninsula.
Oh, right, okay, that's not too bad.
Archipelago, whatever it was. It's because they've flown away from the island the original one was set on. For whatever reason, they crashed, but it's crashing on a different island. So it's a different set of survivors.
Infected, so somebody was infected. That's why it crashed.
Yeah. Wait, who was infected?
Someone. Can't remember. Somebody was.
On the helicopter getting away?
Yeah, pretty certain.
The 4 folk you could play as, the tribal woman, the hacker guy. Oh, the hacker guy could have.
Or that Jin woman, the one that we hated.
No, she died.
Oh, yes,
remember?
she died.
Remember
yes.
We laughed?
I'm laughing about it now. I hated that bitch.
Yeah, hopefully there's no one like her in it. And there's a new playable character who's been seen in the trailers, but I can't even remember what gender they are. That's terrible. I watched the trailer with real gameplay as well. It wasn't even a CG one.
Both. They're both. Bit of both.
Dead Island Riptide, new character. Otherwise it's going to annoy me. It's a guy. It looks like Ellis. In fact, it looks so much like Ellis, I think Valve should sue. He's wearing a t-shirt that says, "The world hard something."
Right.
Hard. Either way, he looks a lot like Ellis.
So we'll call him Ellis then.
He's getting called Ellis now. Yeah, so once I found out it was a totally different island, I was less skeptical about being quite so rushed.
That's not too bad then.
Yeah.
They'll have just used the same engine and the same, tools to make the game. They'll just made new levels.
The principles will be the same. I imagine you'll get put back at level 1.
Hopefully there'll be loads of new items to smash zombies in the face with, and hopefully.
So it's tempting you then?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I did get a lot of fun out of it.
So did I. So I can't think of anything else that would be playthrough potential, especially not co-op.
Nope.
At least not offhand, because obviously I can't do a playthrough of Fire Emblem. What else am I playing? I am going to be doing videos of what's it called? Injustice: Gods Among Us.
That's that beat 'em up thing.
It is that beat 'em up thing with Superman and Batman and all the others.
Yeah.
All your favourite friends. Right, well, we'll go into Bioshock Infinite then, which I can't really talk about a lot for spoiler reasons.
Yeah, especially since I haven't played it. I haven't even opened it.
Yeah, well, what I will say is I did the review for Critical Gamer. I did not include any spoilers in it, so people wanting a bit more thorough reading of my opinion, go read that. It has words, I should warn you.
People just skip to the number at the bottom anyway.
I know that I scored it quite highly, but that was with the kind of asterisk made that I value a well-told good story over gameplay to a certain extent.
It had a very good story then.
It does have a very good story. My OCD brain kind of ruined it for me, but I decided not to hold the game accountable for that.
The game can't be held accountable for your failures.
To go into a slight bit of detail, within the first half an hour of a game, there's a certain... It's not significant what you do, but I won't say what it is. You do something in the first half hour of the game, and that made me think of an episode of Futurama. And that episode of Futurama scarily mimics the main kind of story arc that Bioshock Infinite goes on. Okay. And that kind of got my brain thinking about certain things and made me see things the way they really are rather than the way someone who isn't thinking that way would see them. So I wasn't getting confused, and I wasn't making guesses as the story went along.
You knew what was going on.
I had it plotted out in my head, this is what's happening, and it turned out I was right. So I was disappointed that I was right. Twist. Yeah. There was only one tiny thing I didn't get, and you couldn't possibly even guess it without seeing.
I found definitely as I've got older that I'm getting worse at that, where...
Well, working things out in advance.
Yeah, I know, pretty much, because I just take in whatever it is right there and then, rather than doing any actual thinking about it. I used to be pretty good when I was younger, especially for films and things. And now, as I'm getting older, I'm not talking about being like massively older. I'm just talking in the last 5,
you're not
6 years.
Ancient. I mean, you are pretty old. But...
I just mean in the last 5-6 years, I've noticed it getting steadily worse, where I'm actually getting surprised by things. It's not even that they've been well written, twists.
Oh wait, no, you're meaning it the opposite way then. You're meaning you're getting more surprised. I thought you meant you were sussing stuff out.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting worse at it.
You're getting stupider.
It's good in a way, because it means that
it means you get the enjoyment, I suppose. Yeah. It'll take you on a hell of a ride if you don't even try and guess. Because I think some of it, like Bioshock, some of it is guessable. You might not be able to say why things are, but you might be able to just throw out.
I definitely didn't get the main sort of.
Yeah, that's why Bioshock is so good, because even if you get part of the twist, you can't see all 3 twists coming at you at once.
It's just the way that it's just been so heavily woven into the rest of the game that suddenly it just hits you at the end. You're just like
here as well. You see things in Bioshock when you find out the twist. You see things that happened previously and see them in a new light. Had I not have made that connection so early in Bioshock Infinite, I would have had the same reaction again. It's just that I did see them coming this time. And it's all Bioshock was very good at the context of the way things are said being important, and Bioshock Infinite is equally important. It comes across as a very clever game in that regard, because context is important. The mannerisms things happen in are important. I'm trying very hard not to be specific, in case you're wondering why I'm stumbling slightly.
It's one of these rare occasions where you seem to be genuinely impressed with the way that the game has been presented. And normally you've got always some sort of kind of real big bone to pick for something. No matter how good the game has been in the last sort of few years, since we've been doing the podcast, every game that we've played has always had some sort of flaw to it.
This does have a flaw that I think is a flaw. Actually, the reason I didn't plan to buy it is because, one, I don't like Kevin Levine. I think he's a twat. he had his opinion bought for the Wii U videos to say that it was the best gaming console ever made prior to making anything for it, and Bioshock Infinite isn't even on the damn thing. So let's just ignore him for being a twat. The second thing was that... should I bring... I don't know if I should bring that up. He went on about... you've seen the box? It's the guy you play as, looking all heroic, all manly, and then the helpless woman getting dragged along behind him. People kind of had a bit of a angry thing to say about that because it didn't reflect the tone of the game. And he kind of was silent for a little while, but then, to be fair, he then said, yep, you know what? It doesn't accurately reflect the game. I didn't have any say in that. It was done like that deliberately to draw people in who aren't familiar with Bioshock.
Oh, that's a bit rubbish.
Yeah. And this is the thing I want to double check, because since I bought it on PC, I can't. He said that it includes a reversible cover so that you have a non-offensive or non-stereotypical cover on the inside. And I was curious whether that is true or not. And if it is, what is it? I'm guessing it's just going to be the Bioshock Infinite logo.
I need to get it out the cellophane.
Okay, well, I'll say the other thing I was going to dabble over. I didn't like Bioshock 2 at all. And that's the other reason I wanted to avoid Bioshock Infinite. I didn't realise Bioshock 2 was handled by a different team. Kevin Levine's team, or Ken Levine, whatever. His team did Bioshock 1 and they did Bioshock Infinite.
My Bioshock Infinite cover, just on a side note there, is just him doing the manly pose with the flag in the background. And
it doesn't have her there as well?
No.
Or is she maybe on the back half?
She's on the back, but just sort of standing there in that sort of like head tilted kind of shock sort of
Save me!
But if you flip it over...
On the inside of it,
the inside, it's like a ye olde like book look. It's all red. With, in fact, I'm going to flip that over right now, because that looks much better.
It looks better.
Yeah, it looks like...
Interesting.
It looks like, like really old sort of comic book style.
That sounds better to me, but I suppose I can see why they couldn't go with that. People would... Call of Duty players would look at it and go, that's a fucking book.
I don't know whether or not that this has anything to do with, I got mine for the PS3. So I don't know if it's got anything to do with like different platforms with different covers or not. But I quite like that. I'm going to flip that over right now and put that back in.
So as far as the game goes, the two complaints I have, and you might want to heed the first one, the standard difficulty, which is medium, way too easy. Ridiculously, insultingly easy. You will never feel threatened until the very end.
They should do more covers like this, because it looks so much more stylish. Like, I wish all of my games could have that.
Unfortunately, stylistic doesn't sell. Heroic man shielding women with big gun sells.
That's stupid. I'll need to send you a picture of it, because it's quite cool.
I'll see it tomorrow if I'm visiting.
Oh, yeah, that's true. When you're over for the sexy party.
Yeah, we always have sexy parties.
Honestly.
So I definitely suggest playing it on hard.
Right, okay.
When you start up, because otherwise you will never feel challenged. Ever, 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 ever. The other thing, the vigors in the game, which is its version of plasmids from Bioshock, it's kind of like the mutated powers you can give yourself. All too similar. They're all just for me, left
similar
click.
To each other, or too similar to the Bioshock, one?
Too similar to one another.
Right.
Because all that's really different is the animation. And you could argue that's enough, but to me, all the powers essentially being press left click to damage enemy, press and hold left click to put a mine version of it on the floor that enemies can walk over. Pretty much 90% of them are that. And the other 10% are like diversionary based ones that don't do that.
As opposed to like fun world manipulation stuff, which is...
Yeah, it doesn't lend itself to experimentation because either, whether you're throwing lightning or throwing fire, you're still just dealing damage.
That's true.
So, to me that was a bit meh. But the rest of the game definitely makes up for it. It's very good. The story is very well told as well. It does kind of deal with racism and that kind of thing, but I like the way they deal with it in such a way that they just have it present. They don't throw it in your face other than the first time, and they don't expect you to act on it. So they just have it there for you to
there it is.
Acknowledge or ignore. And that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be some big thing. It can be if you want it to be, but the game shouldn't expect you to.
It probably helps, like obviously having no experience with the game yet, it probably helps in terms of the tone and the atmosphere, like of what's going on, if it's just there, rather than that being like the focal point, being like rammed down your throat. This is... Yeah.
Look at this, racism is bad. You shouldn't have to do that. It should be, I'm seeing this and I feel bad for them because racism is bad. It should be like that. It should be, you reached that on your own. It should look and not tell, which it does, and that's good.
But then I suppose you run the risk of, let's go back to Star Wars: The Old Republic, where you can make good choices or bad choices, and if you're like
you can kill blue elephants, or
you will intentionally take that guy that wants to be a Jedi and throw him into a big fiery pit.
Well, but that's the point I'm making. Other than the first time, you're never given a choice. It's just there in the background. Like you'll see that the minorities are the ones who do the menial labor, and you'll see their plight. It won't expect you to do anything about it.
No.
It's just there for you to react to, and also the kind of latent racism about Asians and other minorities. It's not just black people, and it's because of the time period it's based on as well.
Yeah,
so it's accurate in that sense too. So I definitely encourage playing it. Although I did have one more complaint, and I can't remember what it was.
So definitely BioShock Infinite instead of the first hour of Skyrim.
Yes.
What about Warframe for an hour or the first hour of Skyrim?
I would say an hour of Warframe is more fun.
I would still
only an hour. So, that's what it was. It was that a totally personal thing, but I preferred the macabre rapture of BioShock than I do the kind of floaty, cloudy land of Columbia in BioShock Infinite.
But how?
That's because I liked the horror element Rapture had.
That was nice.
You were seeing a world that got stuck on that New Year's Eve party for eternity, essentially, and all the survivors had just become addicts and monsters.
But you can't recreate that.
No, exactly. They had to do something different.
I mean, to
that's why I said
the whole point behind the BioShock premise is to take people out of society, out of the world, and put them somewhere else where they can be left to their own devices. So you've got Under the Sea and you've got In the Sky.
Yeah,
There's nowhere else.
I have absolutely no problem with the change of setting from sea to sky. It's just purely the atmosphere.
Would you
personal
prefer
preference, I preferred the horror atmosphere. I don't mind the atmosphere it has now.
But how would they replicate that? Would they just put another one under the sea?
I don't know. See, I don't think they could. So that's why it's not a complaint. It's just a personal preference thing.
Under the ground? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Under the ground might be the next one. And they do a different kind of angle because you're seeing something in its prime rather than when it's already decaying.
Yeah.
You also have a sense of responsibility for things going a bit apeshit. So it might make you care.
I like the sound of that.
Because obviously,
I usually have some sort of responsibility for things going a bit
like the first hour or so of BioShock Infinite is very good because it does you get to see somewhere that looks amazing in its prime. And it doesn't expect you to stop and look at anything, but you can if you want. And it's very enjoyable if you do. So it's probably the best thing I've played this year so far. Tomb Raider would be a close second, despite all my complaints about Tomb Raider.
You have complaints about everything.
I do, even games I like. But yeah, so far, front runner, definitely.
So one of the big sort of news pieces that's been going on the last week or so was the creative director for Microsoft tweeting about all the drama going on about the always-on consoles, and we've talked about this for the next gen consoles.
What's his name?
I can't remember his name. I'd meant to write it down.
His name is Adam Orth, but he demanded everybody calls him Sweet Billy.
Sweet Billy Bumpkin.
Yeah, I think we should just call him Cock.
So, yeah, he basically tweeted to say he doesn't get what all the drama was all about and yada, yada, yada. And people prompted him about saying that, what about people that don't have the internet? That means that they can't make use of this console? Does that not seem a bit stupid? And his response was that they should just get with the times.
Well, actually, it was get with it. And then there was a picture of Obama pulling the get with it face.
Which was a little bit...
Stupid?
Yeah, a little bit stupid. Following on from that, like before we go into the general debate, he has actually apparently left Microsoft now.
Yes, left.
Yes, sources close to him have said that he resigned as opposed to it was forced out. But,
I think it was most definitely a forced resignation.
Oh, of course it was.
It was definitely you will resign or we will fire you.
But the thing is that can only point, add fuel to the fire that the next Microsoft console is going to be always on. Not only for him saying...
it almost certainly is.
Not just for him trying to, defend it, but for the fact that because that caused such an uproar on the internet, that he now no longer works for them. So,
He had such an appalling track record of games he worked on. You know one of his games he worked on? Star Wars Connect.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
And he's the creative director. I mean, it can only be a good thing that he's actually left the company, really.
So what kind of happened just prior to him having his resignation was he went back onto Twitter to say that he was just trolling. Specifically, he was trolling someone from BioWare who was the main person seen arguing with him. The person at BioWare then also said, hey, now everyone, he was just mucking around. We do this all the time. Please don't. A couple of problems with that.
Here we go.
The original tweet by Orth wasn't directed at him. It was just a general one.
No, it was just a general tweet.
2, he didn't just insult that guy. He insulted many people who talked to him about his stupid comments.
True.
3, the timing seemed rather odd. More like the guy at BioWare was either pushed to or, maybe he was a good guy despite the guy insulting him. Decided, hang on a minute, this guy's in the shit. He is really hung himself here. I think I'll be the better man.
Try to
too little, too late.
Send him a lifeline, but it's the internet, ironically being the crux of the whole argument, really.
And when you're a creative director for a big company that's bringing out a big console, you don't troll people, even if that was what you wanted to do.
You kind of have to be aware that if something you put out on the internet will go everywhere, and especially if you're holding a position like he does, you have to be very careful about what you say, and the fact that will spread like wildfire, and it will, people are saying, this means that Sony will definitely win the console war for the next generation. I'm not going to say that they will, but I'm saying this sort of shit will definitely hamper it.
If the next 360 is always on and the PS4 isn't, I would definitely be going to the PS4 because I do not have a stable internet connection. I do not want an always on console. If I had to have a choice out of an always-on console, I'd pick the PC.
That's true. I mean, technically, you use that in that capacity for Steam.
Well, Steam has offline mode.
Yeah, it didn't when it first started, though. Not when Steam first started, because Steam was going on long before that.
Yeah,
it was
years ago.
It was when Half-Life 2 came out that it became an always-on issue.
Yeah, and you know why that was? Because of the issues with Half-Life 2. They thought, right, we're going to have... Pardon me, we're just going to have to do something.
We're just going to have to burp in the middle of this sentence.
I can't help if I burp during a sentence.
You're gassy. Your gases are...
That's because, unlike you, I drink carbonated drinks rather than beer.
Beer's carbonated.
And I talk a lot, so I need to drink lots of it during a podcast. It's Catch-22.
I have vodka and Lilt. It's quite a nice combination.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, so that cock's gone now. I saw a fantastic picture of his Twitter profile page. Top line above it, always on. Below it, the lookout for a job. Oh, dear.
So, I'm not saying that... I'm not going to put my seal of approval on it, but I really don't see it as being as big an issue as people are putting about. I think it's more
about the freedom of choice.
Yeah, I think it's more about that. I prefer the Xbox controllers, but that's not to say that the next generation will have the same design of controller.
That's because you've got Gollum hands.
I have big manly hands.
Yeah, you've only got 2 fingers, but they're really big fingers.
But I don't know. I think it's probably because of the current generation. I just don't like the PS3. There's so many things about it that annoy me.
No, there's not. It's just PSN.
No, a case in point, right? I have everything entertainment-wise wired into one big setup.
Oh, who cares? That's just you being lazy.
PC, Hopage, PlayStation, Xbox, tone port, TV, everything's all wired into one.
Yeah,
thing,
I have all that, including my PS3.
So
carry on.
If I'm messing and mucking about between trying to listen using my headset to something on the PlayStation and have the game sound and Skype sound and stuff, as opposed to just like wiring everything direct from the PlayStation. I don't use the HDMI. I have all the component stuff run through the Hopage. So long story short, the problem is I switch between component and HDMI fairly frequently. And
you don't need to do that when you're not recording, though.
Yeah, but I do it fairly... No, I do it for having the headset.
Oh, right.
I do it for the headset more than anything else. And also because the component doesn't like that white... The component and the Hopage don't like it with that certain white effect.
You can't hold that against it. That's just your TV.
No, I know. But the fact that does that annoys me. And it's only the PlayStation that does that. The Xbox doesn't. So...
Poppycock.
It's fine. No, sorry, that's a lie. The Xbox does do it. But the thing is, with the Xbox, all I do is plug the HDMI cable into the back of the Xbox, and it goes, oh, I know, I've got the HDMI plugged in, so I'll use the HDMI. Whereas the PlayStation goes, what's going on? You've got the wrong cable plugged in. Plug the old cable back in, then tell me that you want me to use the HDMI, then plug the HDMI cable. Yes, mine does. Mine does.
You just need to press and hold it for 5 seconds till it beeps twice and it resets the display.
Press and hold the power button?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
If you press and hold the on switch, wait for to beep twice, let go, it resets the signal detection. Oh, no, I mean from startup. Like, say it's not on, press and hold it, it'll beep once, keep holding, it'll beep twice, let go, it'll find whatever new display you're doing. So if I'm switching between component cables and HDMI, that's how I do it.
Oh,
no, sorry,
really?
That's how I do it if I'm going from HDMI back to component to record, because the other way around, actually, you can just do it the way you're saying. You can just go to the console and say, I'm changing to HDMI now.
Yeah, but it's annoying, the fact they have to do that it's not good enough to know. Anyway,
by the way, Microsoft had an event planned in May, I think, which everyone assumed was going to be their reveal, because it has to be before E3, because E3 is pointless now. But
why is it pointless now?
Because everybody does their reviews prior.
Yeah.
It's got delayed.
Running up to it.
And I think it maybe got delayed so that they give people time to forget about all this oath thing. Yeah, this Twitter debacle.
You could be right. I mean, you are cynical and everything.
Once the pitchforks are poking into someone else, then they'll reveal their new console. Or they're just taking that little bit extra time to think up another way of saying always on. Always not off.
But to look at from an optimistic point of view, it could be that something that is going to blow everybody away isn't quite ready yet. Let's say that there is a tech demo for, I can't remember.
Halo 7?
An exclusive title of some sort.
Halo 5.9.
Yeah, maybe Halo 5.6329.
Halo reaching for straws.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're waiting for something that's going to get a lot of attention.
It'll be an interesting couple of months. Did you just say like a slut?
Yeah, looking for attention. In all the wrong places.
I think we should... Actually, I was going to say emails, but maybe we should do our own 5-word reviews first on the off chance people have sent more in.
Wait. You're saying 5-word reviews. It's not reviews.
I know, okay, right. 5-word... I'm stealing from Critical Gamer. I mean 5-word descriptions, legally distinct from the 5-word reviews that Critical Gamer does. So I did have some. I've done some.
Okay, I don't, so...
Oh, well, shall we do mine first? I've only done 4.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's start with an easy one. Play as a naked boy.
Isaac. Binding of Isaac.
Yes, Binding of Isaac. Why don't they have feet?
That'd be your Ember burning something.
I forgot the name already.
Fire
Emblem Awakening, yes. News, everyone. Futurama did it. Come on.
This will be your Bioshock, won't it?
Yes, it will.
Bioshock Infinite.
Super Space Ninja Samurai Cowboy.
Warframe.
Correct. Also, I'd like to point out that someone else pointed out, not us because we don't care, that Slimazzy's 5-word description of God of War actually had 6 words. So he cheated. Shame on you, Slimaz. You're our Stephen Fry and you went and cheated on us.
Look at this face. This is how much of a shit I give.
Wow. How did you get that many fingers in there?
I found a way. What do you mean, how many fingers? I've only got two. Two giant fingers.
2 giant fingers and a thumb. A regular-sized thumb is only regular. So emails?
Just while you're talking about regular-sized thumb there, I saw this picture on Facebook of somebody that had a One Piece tattoo. And he had, I've never seen One Piece, I just know that that's who that guy with the straw hat's from.
Luffy.
And he's doing this long-reaching punch, right? Mm. So his outstretched arm, kind of Dalsim looking, is tattooed along this guy's wrist. And then it stretches out until, it's actually the guy's hand. So it's like the guy's real fist merges with the tattoo to look like he's the fist is coming around. It's very cool.
He's destroyed his body for an internet joke?
Yeah, I guess so. That's dedication for you. I mean...
That is dedication. Stupid, but also dedication.
So
emails.
Email section.
Oh, I think we might have just got another.
Yes, I've just clocked on to
Quiku asking us something.
Quiku. Let's start with the one from Quiku.
All right, well, I read this one out then since you've got the emails.
Yeah.
What do you think of Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon? Don't know. I haven't played Far Cry 3. I don't even know what Blood Dragon is. I know of it, if that counts. I think it's an expansion.
It must be an expansion of some sort.
Yeah, absolutely. He also has some 5-word puzzles.
Oh, okay. Go.
Angry God punches other gods.
Isn't that just God of War?
No, that'll be Ashura's Wrath. Oh, he's actually put the answers in. Shit, I read too far. Okay, yes. I did know it was Ashura's Wrath, though. Super Punch End the War.
Super Punch End the War. Is that Naruto?
Yes, it is.
I was just thinking, because, never mind, yeah.
Dive with shotgun, win game. Come on. You must know this one. You did it.
Oh, Gears of War.
Correct.
It's not that, well, yeah, okay, was that broken?
That's all I can think of. And do a walkthrough for War Games. I assume he means Warframe. And get Injustice Gods Among Us for Xbox. I'm getting it for PS3. Sorry. I can't help it. I didn't get
you're not paying for it, are you? So
no, I'm not. But thank you for those last. You did it at the perfect time as well. Just when we did ours.
Literally, we read perfect that out timing. As that arrived on Facebook. So it just goes to show you that you can get in touch via facebook.com/BringoHurty.
There we go, and I thanked him on the thread on our Facebook page. Bringo Hurty, blah blah blah.
Real time. That's how we roll, bitches.
Yeah, we do podcast stuff real time.
Live streaming. Except
so now about the actual emails.
Okay, so Rory Wood. Hello again.
No, I'm not.
With the end of both PAX and the GDC convention, isn't C in GDC actually convention? So
GDC, so it would be convention. I'm okay with it.
For this year, what was the best thing you both hear about from both of these cons, and what are you both now looking forward to this year?
Well, the best thing was the thing you brought up, Nintendo's desperate advert. That was fantastic.
That was quite amusing. The reasons, that was covered in the last podcast, wasn't it?
The reasons why you should buy a Wii U rather than a Wii.
Why Wii U? Why the fuck Wii U? I did also like seeing the tech demo for the new Unreal Engine as well. I thought that was quite shiny.
Is that the thing with the big...
It's like a guy in a... It looked quite sort of Warframe-esque, where he was...
That's the one, yes, yeah.
Yeah, the camo cloak thing that he had in that section, he was holding that beam thing up, so it was like the guy went and looked around the corner and it was like nothing there because the guy was holding up a projection. It was almost like in Naruto where he holds up like a bit of paper. It looks like the side of a fence, so he's hiding behind it, blending in. I thought that was quite nice. It was quite cool looking.
I didn't see this. I might have to go looking for it.
It was very cool. I mean,
I tend not to do anything. I look at anything about PAX because I don't like penny arcade.
It's a tech demo, so obviously it's just a CGI thing. But
it's Peter Moore level smoke and mirrors.
As a piece of CGI, it was very nice to look at. And, nice to know that, a gaming engine is now capable of doing something like that.
So the other thing you asked was what games we're looking forward to this year?
Yeah.
Splinter Cell, Blacklist.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
What else?
And this time round, assuming...
This time round we'll have voices.
We'll have voices. So
it definitely does have
people will get to see what they missed the last time.
People will get to hear, not see.
Yes, see and hear. You can see my voice. It's that loud.
What else is out this year?
Riptide.
Oh yeah, Riptide we spoke about. Yep, kind of looking forward to that. Anything else big though?
I can't really think of anything.
No, neither can I.
Struggle to think, especially after.
You struggle to think in general. Well, I'll tell you what, if there's any more to his email, read it out now, and I'll have a quick look.
There is more to his email. He goes on to say, also going back to Storm 3, doing the main story, only gets you about 75% of the Ninja Timeline pages. The other 25% you got from free roaming around and doing side quests. But the pages you get from this are for fights from Storm 1 and Storm 2 story.
Oh, right.
And then he goes on to do some 5-word game descriptions, as promised.
Well, can we quickly go back to his other thing, though?
Yes.
Let's see. Assassin's Creed 4 is out at the end of this year.
Are you actually looking forward to it?
No, I'm not at all.
So that would be a lie, and you wouldn't want to be called a liar.
In September.
No, there you go. That is something worth
That's worth thinking about.
Yeah.
Saints Row 4 in August, maybe. Kind of.
I'm just hoping that Grand Theft Auto will cover that base. I mean, if they improve on the co-op, another step up from the last time, then.
There's a new Batman Arkham game. It's called Batman Arkham Origins.
You struggled to say that.
I did because usually it's the other way around, or it's all A's.
I still haven't played any of the Batman games.
No, and you should have, because Arkham City was amazing. So, yeah, but this one, it's out in October. It's a prequel, and it's not made by Rocksteady, so I think it's going to be crap by comparison.
Oh dear.
So I'm not looking forward to it, but I did want to bring it up. But maybe, if they essentially just build it off the same engine and they don't arse around with the plot too much, it could be alright.
Don't fuck it up, buddy.
Oh, Quickie was just asking, was I being sarcastic? I know it's hard to tell when I'm being sarcastic or not.
It's always on. He has always on sarcasm. If I could opt for his, a Flik that didn't have always on sarcasm, I would. If I should go on Twitter and go on about that.
Yeah, why not? Go tweet that I should not be always on.
I don't want always on Flik sarcasm. Okay, 5-word game descriptions. Dream sheep climbing mad blocks. Now, I know the game that this is in reference to, but I can't for the fucking life of me give you the title of it. It's that one with that weird guy, Dream Sheep climbing mad blocks. Is that like...
Oh, Catherine.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Ninja kills things with dragon.
Naruto doesn't use a dragon, so it's not that. What other ninjas are there? Goku's not a ninja, so that doesn't count.
There's no dragons in any of the Ninja Gaiden games or Gaiden games. I don't know.
Actually, there probably is. It's probably that.
Blue-armed man fights cat girl. Is that the game you're talking about? This Legends thingy.
What, Injustice?
Injustice.
No.
Maybe. No, I don't know.
I can't think of any DC character that has blue arms. No, I don't know that one.
Blue-armed man. There's no game where Mega Man gets to fight Cat Girl, is there?
No, it's always man. It's always something man.
Okay,
no, that's going to stump me, unfortunately, and that's going to bug me for the rest of the podcast. Thank you very much.
Kill thousands with beam saber.
The Gundam Dynasty Warriors thing.
Play that first hour again.
Who knows what that could be? That could be any game.
Skyrim, obviously. And stab people in Clockwork Mask.
That is Dishonored, sorry.
Dishonored. That's it.
I asked on Facebook to find out what that Blue Man one was from Rory, live.
He won't answer.
He will, he's there. He was talking.
Oh, he was talking with his face and everything. It was there. I was there. I was old Kentucky Shark and I have been there.
You have been there. Next.
So, thank you, Rory. And
yes, thank you.
Flik is conversing with you as we speak. The next email is from another Rory Belmont this time. Your favourite.
The bad Rory.
He's titled this email Blargar na Flargflif.
He's Irish. It's probably just him trying to pronounce hello.
All right, well, hello Blighty and the bad podcaster. First, the answers to the 5-worder thingies. And so we're
getting our homework back from teacher.
Yes, we are. He's actually, you love this. There's actually little green ticks and red crosses against the correct ones. So we had like Dead God Sword Slays Machines. That was Xenoblade Chronicles. We got that right.
Yay!
Gathered Warriors Harmony Against Discord was Dissidia. Final Fantasy. We got that right. Vampire Killer Brings Bloody Tears. That was Castlevania. We got that right.
Yay!
Slay Giants in Empty World, Shadow of the Colossus. It doesn't count since the other guy did it first, is what he's put.
What?
Remember we got Shadow of the Colossus twice.
Okay.
All
right.
Shining Key Against the Darkness was Kingdom Hearts, so we got that right.
Yep.
Seek Redemption by Murdering Gods, God of War, again, not counting for the same reason. So what we're getting marked down because we got given...
other people guessed or picked the same game as you.
Dead Again in the Dungeons was Dungeons of Dreadmore, which I got right. He's put bloody tick. The bad guesser was wrong because you said Demons or Dark Souls, maybe.
That's technically true as well, though. Dungeons all the time in those games.
That's true. I mean, you could have like press A for jump now, and that could apply to a million games. So you'd have to just hopefully randomly guess the one that's in your head. Poor imitation of Smash Brothers, which was PlayStation All Stars, which we got right.
Correction, the game from Rory about the blue-armed man dealy, it was Blaze Blue, Calamity Trigger, which I have played. I can't remember which character has blue arms in that. I do remember the Catwoman.
Just his arms are blue?
Dekomata.
Just his arms?
Apparently. Mm.
Okay, that's a bit weird. Just your arms being blue?
Yeah, the rest of him is bright pink.
Oh. Including his penis?
Obviously. Oh. No, that's fluorescent yellow.
Goddess Dies to be continued. And that's Final Fantasy 13-2.
Haven't played it.
We guessed Kid Icarus, or you did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Heroic Figment of Dreaming City, Final Fantasy 10. We got it right. 4 Heroes Restore Crystal's Light, which is Final Fantasy 1. Not Final Fantasy.
I knew it was a Final Fantasy game. I was close enough.
Jobs created by Shattering Crystals was Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, not Final Fantasy 5.
We guessed Crystals and Tactics. Yes, we did.
Insane Magic Clown Destroys World.
That was Kefka, so that was definitely right, yeah.
We said Final Fantasy 5. Really? Shame on you.
Same difference. We knew it was Kefka, or I knew it was Kefka.
Mama's Boy Calls Down Cataclysm, Fantasy 7. We got that right. Suicidal Orphan Seeks World's Full was Final Fantasy 13. We said Final Fantasy 9. Come on, Orphan, I handed that one to you.
I don't remember 13 that well.
Suicidal Orphan? Mm-hmm. No, neither do I. Shot to Head Summons Mask, Persona 3. We got that right, and he's put in brackets surprising.
It's because I'm awesome.
Divine Wolf with Magic Paintbrush was Akami. We got that right. And Lost Memories Restore Crystal's Shine was Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Wait, has he covered that twice?
Again? Yeah, did the same game twice.
The same game twice.
He gets marked down for that. He spends the night in a cardboard box.
Split Personalities Shoot Sinister Laughter was Killer 7. We didn't give an answer for that.
Didn't play it. CR's played it. He didn't own that, probably.
Clueless Detective Nattering Old Bag Objection was Ace Attorney. We got that right. I'm being nice and giving it to you, even though neither of you actually gave an answer.
I knew who Old Bag was.
Oh, wait, funny. It got confusing because you thought that I knew off of the back of Old Bag.
I thought
the last word of the clue of the.
But yeah, that just gave
it was
away
objection.
For you.
Yeah. Read minds and fight noise as the world ends with you. We got that right. Assumed results. He's essentially broken it down. Assumed results. 70%. Blighty, I got 12 out of 19, and the bad player got 11 out of 19. So I got 63%, and you got 58%. And yeah. So let it be known that Blighty did the better of the two.
If ever you needed proof of why he's the bad Rory. ...
Shall I move on to the actual email now?
Yeah, why not?
Okie dokie. Anyway, just one other thing to briefly mention. You know that means it's going to be a long
right.
At the Bad Ideas request, what are both of your opinions of Microsoft now that they... Let's start there again. What are both of your opinions of Microsoft now that they've been shown to be greedy deceit mongers by putting ads on Xbox Live even for paying subscribers?
Well, they've been doing that for a while.
They have been doing that for a while.
It is annoying, though.
It is very, very annoying. I come to think about it, I can't remember the last time I even turned my Xbox on, actually.
Last time you were playing Assassin's Creed 3, I would hazard a guess at.
Months ago, probably. Just for the extra cash, and I'm curious if it may be the same for the Windows Phone and Windows 8 dashboard as well, since I think the setup is similar. Oh, that would be horrible.
Oh, on your bloody desktop, that would be horrific.
I don't think that we're too far away from that. I really don't.
Well, if I intend to not get it forever, if I can help it.
I managed to stay with XP for a very long time, and I'll let it be known that I stuck with 98 for a very long time as well. I went from XP to Windows 7. I managed to cut out everything in between.
That's the good way to do it. I'm waiting for the next jump when they realize 8 is shit and kind of do something better. I'll hopefully get the next better thing.
At that point, it'll be when I buy a new PC rather than buying a new operating system for the PC I currently have. And the reason is, it'll come with it, and I won't have to pay for it. That's kind of the point.
What the hell? Yeah. There's a game called Strange Loves, Vampire Boyfriends.
I bet Noodles is playing that right now.
Probably.
Noodles, where are you? We miss you.
Come
back to us. Kevin MacLeod got him. He's tied up in the basement of some grand estate. Anyway, shall I carry on with the email?
Oh, if you must.
Not allowing new games on their new system, and just recently telling everyone that they need to switch from MSN to Skype by the 8th, only to have MSN still working perfectly fine even now.
That's the thing I wanted him to bring up. I asked him to bring that up.
Oh, okay. Why is that?
Because I prematurely did the upgrade from MSN to Skype, because I thought, well, MSN's going to stop working on the 8th anyway. It's a couple of days before, and I'm remembering it's happening. I'll just do it now. MSN still fucking works. But it's the 13th when we're doing this.
Yeah, and when the transition, when you merged your accounts and so on, took place, my MSN actually deleted itself from the computer essentially.
Yep, so is mine. My MSN's gone.
It's gone. I preferred it for
what I think they meant was they would simply stop supporting MSN, but it still works. And I wish I'd saw through their bullshit beforehand, because I use Skype. I like using Skype for recording audio, but I don't like it as a chat program. That's just personal preference. You can't have custom fonts.
Pretty awful.
Or colours, rather. Sizes, emotes,
and dropping files
like that.
And stuff
backgrounds.
In is a bit pain in the ass. And
yeah. I guess they're trying to encourage people onto Skype, because then you're more likely to pay for a subscription to do phone calls via Skype, maybe?
Yeah, probably.
Who knows? I mean, doing something like this will probably cost money eventually.
Oh, yeah, because they missed out the last part of that sentence where saying that talking about transferring over to the Skype, even though MSN still works perfectly fine, though having you unable to switch back to it if you did transfer over, which we did, and you can't...
There's no official place to download MSN anymore.
Oh, and
also it annoys me that they switched Hotmail to Outlook, because Outlook is fucking annoying.
Yes.
It keeps on going slow or not loading or failing to send my emails. That's why I switched to Gmail for the one I use for business contacts and that, because at least I know it'll send. My
work email recently shuffled everything over onto Outlook. It's god-awful.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So you have to deal with it just on an ad hoc basis. I have to deal with it all day, every day, for everything. It's horrible. Kill me now.
Yeah. So if anyone does want to get in contact with me personally rather than the podcast, I use the email fliksgamingstuff@gmail.com. That's for business inquiries only, not my shoe size.
Only.
Business only.
Get pictures of people soliciting sex with you.
No, that's what goes into Outlook. That's how I can easily ignore that kind of shit.
Giant dong pictures. Oh, and since the Kinect is going to be hardwired into the new system, like it or not, do you think that games for it will force players to use Kinect features instead of having it optional like now? That's not something I've actually really given any thought to. At present, same with the 6-axis, I suppose. They didn't really ever force that as being the only option for certain mechanics in games at the moment.
Yeah, they had it as an optional one.
And it barely ever really got any use from what I understand. But going forward, does that mean that they're going to force you to need to use Kinect-based controls for future games?
That would be a massive mistake, because it requires so much space. I physically wouldn't be able to buy the new Xbox if it required it, because I don't have enough room between my TV and other things in my room that I could use a Kinect. It wouldn't be able to see me. It would probably just see me from the chest up, and I'd be a floating, disembodied... Yeah, I'd be a ninja.
You'd be a ninja.
I'd be a ninja missing his lower half, but I'd be a ninja. So, I mean, if it went that way, I couldn't do it. I have the Wii I borrowed still set up here, and the reason that's okay, despite the lack of space, is because it just needs to track the wand.
Yeah, you could move the bar on that anyway, so you could pivot it at an angle. You could be sitting.
Well, actually, no, the Kinect one does move up and down. It does like kind of funky, only up and down and left and right to certain degrees.
You've got barely enough room to get into that.
I've tried throwing a cat around and it splatted in the first 10 seconds.
I shall continue. There's still more email to get through.
Good, because otherwise the neighbour might start asking questions like, what happened to my cat?
Normally you'd think they'd leave it as optional, but they seem pretty damn intent on making people use Kinect features to prove it wasn't a bad idea.
Yeah, that's how you make people like something. You force them to.
But the argument here is that you're only talking about Microsoft games. What about third-party games? They couldn't give a shit. I mean, is the next PlayStation going to be like forcing you to use the Move?
No,
so if you're playing a cross-platform game, do you really think the developers are going to force parts of the gaming mechanics into the Kinect? I doubt it.
No, it'll be optional.
It will be.
I mean, how many people genuinely used like the voice recognition for Mass Effect using Kinect?
I don't have a Kinect.
I mean, who genuinely did that? Who would be that lazy?
Somebody's buying it.
I bet it wouldn't even work. Yeah, lots of people did. Kinect is the best-selling peripheral for a console ever, according to the Guinness Book of Gaming Records. So that's probably why Microsoft, sorry, I get my crappy companies mixed up sometimes, why Microsoft thinks everybody wants one, because everybody has one. But nobody's using them.
Anyway.
No one's talking about how great Star Wars Kinect is.
No, that's very true. I don't think people are even playing the Wii anymore anyway. You know how it was that big thing for a while. And anyway, and before I sign off, I just want to say that you really should give EA some credit. Okay, I'll just delete this email now. I mean, they discovered the perfect anti-piracy defense, making a game so bad that no one wants to play. And then he's signed off as the good Rory.
That would be incorrect.
That's quite a good joke at the end there, though.
That is quite a good bit of sarcasm for someone who isn't British, yes.
So thank you very much, Rory.
Yes, thank you, the good Rory and the bad Rory. I did want to bring up EA because for the second year in a row they were voted the worst company in America by the Consumerist website. And what is fantastic about this is Peter Moore, who I've already insulted before by saying is fantastic at PR, blamed homophobes and the people who voted.
Oh,
did you read about this?
I did not, but that's one hell of a trump card.
Yeah. So the first thing he did was make fun of everyone who voted for EA because he was incredibly condescending by saying, why didn't you vote for people like BP and whoever, the banks for stealing all your money or the oil company for leak? Why would you vote for a puny little games company over us? I would say turn that question around. Why would they? Why would they think you are so bad? Maybe you should look at your fucking company and do something about it. But moving on, he then went on to say that he had personally seen lots of anti-gay websites which were rallying to vote for EA for this award, award in inverted commas, purely because they do quite, well, he made it sound like they're the only ones, but they're not. They do a lot of games where homosexual relationships or marriage, etc., like say in The Sims or Mass Effect, is popular. Or possible. They're not necessarily popular.
Inevitable.
So naturally the consumers just bitch slapped him down on all these points, like saying, prove it, show us these things, show us. And then they posted all the information about where their data was coming from to prove that there was no like mass coming from one link saying this is a company that they like the gays, vote them down. There's none of that, and he is just mental. And he made such an it was purported to be an apology. Like we can do better. But then he just went on to like say, you're all dicks. You don't understand how great we are. It's a fantastic read. It's a fantastic read just because of how bad it is. Go to the Consumerist website, find the EA Worst Company 2013, or I don't know if it's for the previous year or probably the financial year.
Do you not think it's a bit strange, right, that gaming companies in particular seem to have these outspoken figureheads and stuff, like names that you know? Like, do you know who the big wig at BP is? or any of.
Yeah, I do actually, but only because a South Park episode ripped this out.
Okay, right, but that was a bad example then. But do you know what I mean?
Well, what about the runner-up? The people who lost to EA were the Bank of America, like the main bank in America. I couldn't tell you who the main guy is there.
Exactly, I can tell you who the main people are. Any bank for that matter really is.
But the point is, if you have pissed off your customers enough by doing a whole load of shitty things, that they're willing to vote you worse than banks that cause recessions, oil companies that kill tons of sea life, people who do worse things than that.
It's pretty bad.
Yet you'll say we'll try better, but you're stupid for voting first, and it's all the anti-gays' fault. That's mad.
I think they may have taken the crown from Capcom for being the worst game company.
Well,
at least Capcom don't tell you you're stupid for your decisions.
For anyone who thinks I'm taking what he said out of context, definitely go read his apology or statement.
You can't really call it an apology, can you?
Well, he does have the line. He does have the sentence in it. We will try better or try harder, whatever it was. And then also read the consumerist's rebuttal to his statements as well in their summary of them winning the award. It's very well put.
As a matter of course, during my job, I have to write complaint letters, like apology letters to people.
You say complaint and then apology. Which is it?
No,
both?
Well, the process is called like dealing with a complaint.
So right.
Letter.
It might be.
You don't say I'm sending out an apology letter. You say I'm sending out a complaint letter.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so as a matter of course, that's just something that we have to do, and within at least the first 2-3 sentences max, you have to have the words "we" or "I am sorry," right? Because you have to get across the point that you're sorry. Did he say that he's sorry? No, so it's not an apology, because an apology indicates that you're sorry for something. Whether you're sorry because you were caught, whether you're sorry because you were stupid, irrespective, like you can't apologize without saying you're sorry. Just saying, "Oh, we'll try better next time." People go, "Well, hang on a minute, that doesn't sound very, apologetic."
Oh, also, it was 78% of the vote EA won by.
Oof.
Yeah. And I'm trying to find his exact statement so I can let you see it. Because what we could do is then just kind of stop here, but then we'll just start up again after you've read it and see if you agree with me.
Okay.
So we could do the wrap-up in the meantime, unless you had anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, I think that about clears it. I think that the bile is like rising to the upper layer of your skin. Before you know it, like your bed or wherever you're sitting or lying or whatever it is you're doing right now is going to dissolve.
Oh, that was the other people he blamed. Whiny people who apparently voted them worst company in America purely based on the footballer who's on the front of each Madden game each year. That was the other thing he said.
That actually sounds plausible to a certain extent.
Yeah, that's why he's very good at PR and why I mean that as an insult. He's very good at doing plausible bullshit.
I love that this actually has within it, like, Dash admits it can do better, but blames worst company success on homophobes and whiny Madden fans.
Yep.
.co.uk.
So, if you want to email the podcast to get insulted or insult us or anything else, bringohurty@gmail.com.
Yeah, do you know what? I want to hear an insult. Like, like I haven't heard a good insult in a while. Something original.
Yeah, insult him. I'm fine, thanks.
Hit me with it.
Hit him with your rhythm stick.
That's
baby.
An old song.
I didn't even know it was a song. I thought it was a saying. A colloquial saying. Sign off, damn it.
Sign off, yes. Stuff. Things. Bringo Hurty. Facebook.com/BringoHurty. BringoHurty@gmail.com. Just Google Bringo Hurty or throw something in the general direction of somewhere and...
Ireland.
Yeah, no, don't throw it there.
Why not?
Okay, throw it there.
Okay. Done. It's over. Game over, man.